All right. So just a while ago, Karlyn, I don't know how to say her last, Borysenko, uh, challenged no white guilt and said she doesn't want this thing with critical race theory to be a white power movement or turn into a white power movement to fight against critical race theory. And she says it's just racist. And it's not just racist against white people, it's racist against all of the groups that stand against it. And it's not just anti-white, it's anti-everybody. Which to a point, I guess, but I'm kind of reminded of the things that happened, back in the day. My father, when he was in the Air Force, was stationed in Greenville, Mississippi, and I think it was a gentleman from Jamaica, but he was basically helping out my father, I think, with some of the mathematical stuff when he was in training. And when he was, I guess it was like, on leave, like he had his furlough with this gentleman, he was trying to get him something to eat. And he went to a bar that he had been friendly with, and they turned on him and pulled a gun on him. And the person told him, get that effing what out of here. And, when politicians spoke out against segregation and the like, they were called in lovers or whatever. Now, flashback here, when people speak out against the woke or critical race theory, or that America is not a racist country, when blacks do it, they're called Uncle Toms, or whatever name they're called, because they're taking the side. They're seen as taking the side of whites. But just as Jim Crow segregation was against blacks, and let's be honest here, Jim Crow segregation was against blacks. Anti-miscegenation laws were primarily against blacks. Any kind of housing discrimination or any kind of discrimination, if they let up on any group, it was always blacks were the last to let up on. So, the discrimination and racism was primarily against blacks, and it was by the whites. So today we have critical race theory. Critical race theory basically, like I think the way she defined it is race determines who you are. Your determination is your race. And you're considered racist if you're white. And that's who it's primarily directed at. And, this has been going on, by the way, for years. This kind of thing of accusations and things being leveled against whites. I can recall, the first time I became really aware of the kind of things that were being played was during the Tawana Brawley fiasco. And that turned out to be a complete lie. And again, I don't see these, like she sees like a big white power movement moving out of this, and I don't see that at all. The difference between white identitarians and black identitarians, on average, and not 100 percentile, white identitarians really just want to be left alone. They kind of want to, like, hey, have their own choice, and if they had their freedom of choice, they would be around their own kind. Black identitarians, not so much. There's a lot of, from what I've seen, a lot of jealousy, and they tend to want to like move into places more often that are white. People that are proud to be black and show their blackness, they will go into white spaces all the time. Now, it may be said that, there's more white spaces out there, but I mean, in certain, parts of the country, that's not necessarily the case. And I can show you, like, there are little pockets of white places that blacks do like to go to, and a lot of them are very much pro-black. And you cannot be vocally pro-white. You will get punished. The establishment itself will punish you. And, these people are not chasing Karlyn down the street. She wasn't chased down by pro-whites or white identitarians. She was chased down by black identitarians. And I think those who agree with the white identitarians are the critical race theorists. They were the ones that threatened to beat her up. And the other guy, Brandon Straka. How can you say that these guys are a total threat, or this can turn into this or that? I just don't understand it. It's just kind of confusing to me. The people who use the most amount of violence and will attack you if you disagree with them are primarily black identitarians or even woke white people on the left, or I would say black and brown identitarians often will attack you, and then the woke left, because they believe, like I said, they're fighting. I guess they believe they're fighting the Ku Klux Klan or Hitler if you disagree with them, and they have the right to do whatever they want to you. And the establishment backs them up. I can go further into this, but I'm not. It just seems that she wasn't very diplomatic about it, and all she really accomplished out of this was just drive a rift, and then it ended up pissing people off. She's done some good things, but this, in my opinion, is not one of them. I strongly disagreed with the manner in which she chose to do this, the way in which she chose to handle it. I don't think was very good, and I don't think was very diplomatic. And a person who's a psychiatrist not really understanding the full depths of it. And I certainly could be wrong. If you disagree with me, I would prefer that you leave a comment. A lot of people just leave a thumbs down. I don't know why, but I'd prefer you leave a comment to say where I could be wrong on this. But it seems like, again, no white guilt. If you don't agree with him, he's not going to come after you and attack you as a leftist will. And I think she threatened to, wanting to get him off of YouTube, and that seems unfair because, like I said, there are a lot of black identitarians on YouTube, And oftentimes they're the ones who threaten violence. I won't even name their names. This man doesn't, like I said, this man never threatens violence from what I understand. And again, it's been the left that has attacked you. The left, the woke left, and the black identitarian left that has attacked you, not the far right, and not any white identitarians. None of them have ever, they weren't the ones chasing you down the street when you were screaming for help and screaming for the police. Anyway, this has been Brian with Transparency and Merit. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Love to hear from you. Also visit our website at transparencyandmerit.com. Thanks for listening.